It's Tim Sheeser here for TechSpot, and this week we've been at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona to check out all the latest products in the mobile space. As you've probably heard already, both LG and Samsung made major smartphone announcements launching the G5 and Galaxy S7 respectively. I've had some hands-on time with both devices and both are impressive in their own ways. The LG G5 brings a new metal unibody design that is a significant improvement on the G4 in both the looks and ergonomics department. With that said, the G5 isn't the most attractive device I've ever seen, despite the widespread use of metal, and I might need some more time with the handset to appreciate the curved edges and design overall. LG has brought some interesting new features to the G5, including the magic slot that allows you to replace the battery. Unfortunately, the mechanism that houses the battery has led to a smaller than average 2800 mAh battery, but the ability to replace it will please some people, and it's quite easy to do so via a small button on the left side. At this stage, LG's other accessories such as the camera grip and audio DAC aren't entirely that compelling, although I hope that we get some other cool add-ons in the future. The other main feature is a wide-angle 8-megapixel camera that complements the 16-megapixel main shooter. Both cameras deliver decent images from what I've seen, but as there are now two cameras, there will be some times we'll need to decide between high-resolution images from the main camera or expansive views from that wide-angle lens. Luckily, the switching mechanism is fast and the camera in general has pretty great performance. Speaking of performance, the G5 includes the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 SoC, which seems speedy in the time I had with the device. On the front is a beautiful 1440p IPS quantum display, which includes always-on functionality that apparently consumes just 0.8% of the battery per hour to display things such as time and notifications. No doubt this will come in handy, so long as they're correct about that battery consumption information. LG hasn't announced pricing, but the handset will be available in the next few months. The Samsung Galaxy S7 is a less exciting device with fewer crazy new features, but it's arguably a better smartphone than the LG G5, at least from what I've experienced at the show. The metal and glass design has been refined, delivering better ergonomics, especially on the Edge model, which is larger than the previous model at 5.5 inches, but less sharp along the edges. Like the Galaxy S6, these new handsets are absolutely beautiful and incredibly well made. Of the new features, Samsung also has an always-on display functionality on the excellent 1440p AMOLEDs in both devices. The cameras have been improved with 12-megapixel low-light friendly sensors and f1.7 lenses, as well as better, faster, and more accurate autofocus from what they call dual-pixel technology. In the short time I had with the handset, the camera does seem as awesome as you'd expect, but I haven't had a ton of time with it in varied conditions. For the spec fiends out there, the Galaxy S7 has it all, including either a Snapdragon 820 or Exynos 8 Octa SoC, depending on your region, 4GB of RAM, and incredibly welcome larger batteries than before at 3000 mAh in the S7 and 3600 mAh in the S7 Edge. Samsung has even included heat pipe technology for better cooling, which along with the battery seems to fit in a slim and easy to manage body. I was very impressed with the handset overall in my hands-on time with it, despite the use of TouchWiz throughout the software, and I can't wait to investigate it further when it launches on March 11. Over at Sony's booth, the company was showing off their new handsets, which begin with the Xperia X. As a mid to high-end handset, the Xperia X brings a Snapdragon 650 SoC, 5-inch 1080p display, and 23-megapixel camera. The phone feels incredibly nice, especially the seamless metal back, which doesn't have any of those lines that you see on devices like the HTC One M9, and ergonomically round edges also complete this beautiful design, as well as the rounded glass front panel. The new camera features of the Xperia X are extremely compelling as well. The phone has the ability to power on, open the camera, and capture an image in just 0.6 seconds for those times where you really need to take a shot immediately. There's also predictive hybrid autofocus, which tracks moving objects in the frame automatically or with your direction, for the perfect shot of moving objects. For those that want a bit more power, Sony has you covered with the Xperia X Performance. It's not the best name for a smartphone that I've ever seen, but it's basically the same as the Xperia X, with a Snapdragon 820 SoC and water resistance added to the package, along with new brushed metal options that look absolutely fantastic in person. This device essentially replaces the Xperia Z5 as Sony's new flagship handset. The Xperia XA is the third device that Sony launched, and it's a mid-range offering, packing a MediaTek SoC, a 720p display, and a 13-megapixel rear camera. The slim bezel design looks very impressive, which helps the 5-inch body to feel more compact than its competitors. As you might expect for a mid-range product, the body is plastic rather than metal, but it retains the curved glass front, and overall it doesn't feel hugely cheap. HP was another company that perhaps surprisingly launched a new smartphone. Known as the Elite X3, it runs Windows 10 Mobile with a very impressive spec list headed by a Snapdragon 820 SoC, 6-inch 1440p display, fingerprint and iris scanners, and a 16-megapixel camera. However, HP doesn't want you to think of this device as just a phone. Instead, the Elite X3 is being positioned as a next-gen computing device for the enterprise. It's designed to be docked into a display fused with Windows 10 Mobile's Continuum feature, allowing you to run apps in a desktop environment. The whole package also includes a laptop dock, which connects with the Elite X3 wirelessly to act as a portable vessel for Continuum, apparently with monster battery life because there's no dedicated hardware inside, aside from the things that of course run the display. The handset itself is quite large thanks to the 6-inch display, but it's reasonably thin and not too heavy. The design and materials HP has used, at least in this early model, won't set the world on fire, especially if you're expecting an all-metal body. However, I quite like the general aesthetic. The Elite X3 is truly the first compelling Windows 10 Mobile product and the best use of Continuum so far, even beating Microsoft's own Lumia devices. The software is still in alpha at this stage. The demos weren't as smooth as they should have been, but when the product ships in this summer, it should be an interesting mobile computing system for enterprises. It's also good to see HP acknowledge and attempt to solve the app issue on Windows 10 Mobile, allowing users to virtualize necessary x86 apps in the cloud. So these were the main smartphone announcements at MWC, although there's still a lot more to sift through from the show. Be sure to check back on techspot.com soon for more hands-on video from MWC, subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all the latest videos straight to your inbox, and we'll catch you in the next one.